one of the okay. So the weather in this county has been amazing, especially like with everywhere I'm at is always amazing. And there's I should have stayed in Oklahoma. Shouldn't have been turned over to Texas when I ran away in 17 and a half in Oklahoma. I think the parents reported my car as stolen, and they never mentioned it as stolen. Like the cops didn't. They just it. I'm not quite certain. I don't know. I had been gone for probably 2.5 days. And might not have had to have reported it stolen by that point. But 17 and a half though. I don't know. It was yeah. If we spent too much money in hotels, $80. It was $40 first night, 42nd, 20 the first night. First one was in New Mexico. Second was in Oklahoma. Drove in one direction. I was like, I'm gonna cross the border for Mexico, but then I'm like, I don't want to get stuck across the border in Mexico from. So should have gone to Mexico. It would have been nice. I fit in pretty well as far as the whole if like fix it till it works. If you can avoid getting people in trouble with it, whereas for insurance purposes, you've got to track down the culprits who well, I mean, to be fair, they should have said, "Hey, accidentally so and so." Yeah, in which case the once you get to the part where you're no longer teaching your children plumbing and basic forms of self-reliance because, like, for insurance purposes, you're not doing things correct. Okay, sorry. So, anyways, this rant is supposed to be about the whole. Okay, one of the benefits of ah, 5 decibel difference. Like 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 7 p.m., 7 a.m. You get 5 extra decibels during the day. I get that's I don't gotta be taking my posture is upsetting me. Not y'all, but well the whole yeah, because you don't understand. I mean, I'm trying my whole life to get to a place where I can't be heard, so I can practice getting louder. And then y'all are spend y'all's whole time saying, well, you shouldn't be approaching people who it's not your concern. It's not your concern. You can hear them, but it's not your concern. Well, I can hear them, it's my concern. If that's the you ask for my attention. Like when somebody honks out here, I go out and say, "Hey, you honked?" He says, "Yeah, I'm honking for this person." No, you honk for everybody. And the first time, only time I've actually done it to a person, kind of badgered it a bit more than I should have, and that was kind of because they actually kind of laughed, and I don't, I mean, they may not ever like, I don't know, it was awesome. They laughed. I could have kept it more light. Instead, I was like, raw, grumble, grumble, grumble. Actually, no, this is upsetting me. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and that's because that's just it spreads like these vibe like this guy's well to be fair those neighbors probably aren't gonna try to be friendly with me because they already know that I'm just kind of it was online this stuff is you can't throw stuff at each other it's not I can't catch and you might like so people throwing something at somebody oh they're gonna catch it throw it back that's how we deal with our frustration shit that's assault charges like, it's unfortunate because that's a better thing. Like you can throw shit, they catch it, and that's training. Whereas the whole not that's training too, but it's training to be fragile. Uh, because yeah, the whole goal is to like, well, then you're also gonna get stronger, but that doesn't ever happen. No, you make the person's fragile so you can keep stepping on them, and that's the so you got to keep the person smart as you're training them. You know, and so like this is an action. This is why you shouldn't do that. Okay, but in some cases, like persons they've already got so when a person's picking a fight and all these groups around I don't understand why there aren't charges being pressed for the people who assaulted the Switten house somebody or other there's it's a bit of a setup. I mean, I don't know if the dude who did the shooting was in on it or if he was the victim of it. But again, they didn't do anything wrong. People were throwing shit at him. He shot them. He reflexive response. The problem is the problem is the training that they're given to be certain. Like, yeah, I've got bad parents too, and then their parents had, and yes, I'm calling y'all bad parents because you had guns out when you didn't need to have guns out. If guns are, call the National Guard, call the police to do it for you. They say, well, there's not. Well, then call the National Guard for the police, because if the police aren't, like they say, well, there's not enough people. Like these police are saying, we don't have, I'm not going to send somebody out there for that. And so the last I realized, then I need to be saying, hey, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Actually, I'm going to call the one. It may stop the El Paso County was gonna ask if they had my phone number. Uh, I'm sorry for being such a but yeah, there's not one of the issues with the whole freedom to pay as much for soundproofing as you want, so you don't have to hear other people breaking the law. I left Texas because I like to smoke weed. Texas didn't like people smoking weed. I left Texas. And then yeah, I mean, some people say, well, you also hit your ex. I defended myself from there's uh, uh same time there's been a couple times where yeah, I should have been like the punishment that I got, it still seems light. As far as there's one time where she's hitting herself on the shoulder while driving. Well, it's like she's driving and I'm frustrating her so much, and she doesn't know how to show that she's frustrated other than to hit her shoulder. And my response is, well, if you're going to do it right. Well, I'm not hitting hard. I'm still like, it's harder than she was hitting her. And even that I was doing that at all, like it doesn't matter. Tapping that does matter as far as the whole hardness, because it was there. But then also it also matters that the act just at all. That's also a level of frustration on my part. Why did I do that? That's not the right way to handle that situation. It was, if you're gonna do it right, so that way others will see it and get help. Is would have is what I, so she pulls over, thankfully, instead of doing the probably had the steering wheel in the one hand. I'd seen Vanilla Sky, and hmm, so then she gets out and tries to go into traffic. And it's like, so then I'm sitting there on the, and then I'm my whole thinking is, wow, my alleged father, he tackled me. Yeah, this is really, it's all bad. And this situation with the alleged father doing it, it was a bit different. I'm trying to say I'm not trying to empathize with his feelings at that point. He was chasing me down on an icy street. Where did he think I was gonna go? That was my vehicle right there. Like that, he was the alleged uh, mother was coming out the house as I'm trying to leave because they're trying to pick a fight. And so I straight up leave, just left the room, bolt out the house, try to get to my car as fast as I can. I didn't think to relock my doors. She climbs in the door before I can get off, like before I could leave. It, Freudian stuff. That's hilarious. But so I get out the car and I'm trying to pull her off my car. And then so she's thinking, I guess, that, oh, sorry, I skipped this part. When she's coming out the house, she's yelling that they got him. Was that when she was yelling? Yeah. Or was it whenever he was tackling me and she was already back at the steps? I don't even know. And the whole thing is, when did they call the cop? They called the police, or did they call their police friend? And it's because I also want that officer to talk about some shit that happened that night. And of course, it was 20 years ago almost. It was 15 years ago, between 15 and 20 years ago, in 1711 Gillum Drive, Brownfield, Texas. There was an officer sent out, and I was screaming. The alleged father, 300. He had about 200 pounds on me at the time. I was 140. I think he was about 340. uh, I tried to kick him in the balls and take off, and I figured I would just, I don't know, I would have probably walked and got chill and thought about, okay, I can go to this person's house first, this person's house first, this person's house first, and try to borrow a phone or try to, because this, they probably, then I realized, well, it would have resolved itself. The police officer would have come by. So I'm yelling, screaming bloody murder because this asshole's tackled me because I kick him in the balls. That's how I handled it in let's see, I guess I was a sophomore or junior. Pretty sure. Trying to remember when spring break we went to. It's probably sophomore or junior. I don't. I think junior probably. 'Cause I don't. In high school we went to Disney World. Yay! Well, this time I had been asking about our go kart that they had something. He's like, well, we're not going to deal with that because you're going to get a vehicle, or you're like, you get in a vehicle. So, okay, well, I can appreciate that, but then he's going to spend all this money to go to this Disney World stuff where it's like we what? There's the state fair, and it's not even. Well, it's a different. Yeah, it's a much different experience. It's the same thing. You do the same thing, just times a couple different days, and you're going to spend a lot more for it. I did come out with a lot of different pins. I gotta go and or gotta mail back. I guess these are some pins I traded after stealing from you, like because I got people that stand around and they'll trade pins with you. And I was trading out the pins that I would steal from the carts, and so I got mail those to Disney World. Say donate those to the pin traders because in eighth grade I threw my stuff away like or see sixth grade, so got caught stealing a gift, and I don't even know if you can't even hear this. That's dumb.